ready to tell him. Now is my time. Now is my time.
Going right back, gonna flip it up. He's got a back flip.
It's the time, it's the place.
Oh my goodness!
Right on my tail.
Tyler Menga comes up.
And he's gonna land it.
The time is right. Now is the time and we here to fight. I came here to ride or to die, to be right on the top of this mountain until the
The surf is up just a few miles down the street as we continue our tour of California, kicking off the season for Stadium Championship Series East. This is the fourth and final round here at Snapdragon Stadium. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monster Jam Primetime. Scott Jordan, the 7 Deuce, Adam Enticknap. Adam, the last 3 rounds here in San Diego have been very exciting. Last round, Tyler Menga remained undefeated in racing, improving to 10-0, which is a solid number. He has wasted no time getting his new Gravedigger off to a good start.
Yeah, you know, one of the things with Tyler Menga is I think it doesn't matter what truck he's in, what Gravedigger number he is in, he can get it done. This is, in my opinion, the most talented, fastest driver in Monster Jam right now. And week in and week out, he's going to continue to get it done.
Let's talk about another fast driver in Dalton Widener. He surprised a lot of people at World Finals last year with how competitive he was. And he jumps into his first Stadium Series this year, currently sitting 4th in the points. Adam, are you surprised at all about Dalton's solid start?
You know, I'm not surprised at all with Dalton's start. I was surprised with his World Finals performance, but after we seen him at those Marvel events and how comfortable he was with throwing the steering wheel out of the front of the truck and all the things that he was doing, that's telling me as a driver how comfortable and how just sweet and calm he is driving that truck.
You're sweet and calm, too, in that chair. Last round, Camden Murphy won his first overall event championship. We know it's not always easy adjusting to a new truck, but Camden is off to a good start. Getting that win might be the boost he needs to inch a little closer to Tyler.
Yeah, it's definitely a boost that he needs, but, you know, he is getting used to a new truck like Tyler is, but he's also getting used to a new IP, and I think that's the biggest difference here. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error for him, figuring it out, and also getting this Classroom Crusher name to be as big as Gravedigger. Big hurdles, but he can do it.
Let's hear from the round 3 champ is with Leslie Mears in this Northern Tool and Equipment Pit Report.
Yeah, as you guys have talked about, a phenomenal night for Camden Murphy. You come out swinging, freestyle, overall victory, moving yourself up in the overall points, you know. But how hard is it to come out here, a new truck, a new look, and really get the fans behind you?
It definitely is pretty tricky. So, you know, when you have a truck that nobody knows at all, it's definitely a little bit of an uphill battle for sure, but I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for it, that's for sure. We did it already one time with Bakugan, so I'm looking forward to do here with Classroom Crusher, but it's been a lot of fun so far. We're hopefully going to go out there and tear it up again and make sure the fans know who Classroom Crusher is.
How does it change your mentality for freestyle, though? Because, you know, sometimes we see people play the points games out there, but when you're, you know, trying to win over fans and earn points at the same time, you've got to have a different thought process.
It definitely is tricky, absolutely, because if you have a bad night, you don't have the fans on your side that time. So, you know, just going out there and absolutely thrashing and crashing, getting wild and crazy like I'm known for. So that's what we're doing here with Classroom Crusher. We're crushing the competition and hopefully taking everybody to school as well.
Thanks, Leslie. Some nice puns there for Camden Murphy. He is who he's going to compete against tonight. Armando Castro has had another skills win last round. He remains red hot, trying to keep Camden from back-to-back championships. Of course, Bari Musawwir finished 3rd overall. We know Bari is a highlight reel here in San Diego.
Yeah, he absolutely is, and he's very comfortable, and I think all Bari needs is just a little bit of momentum, and watch out, the zombie truck could be hot.
Multiple World Finals freestyle champions here as well. Let's take a look at the current season point standings through the first 3 rounds. Gravedigger with 89 points, Classroom Crusher with 74, Zombie 73, Jurassic Attack 66, El Toro Loco 65, and there's Thunder Roars in the top half with 56 points. Drivers will compete tonight in 3 competitions: JCB Racing Skills Challenge and Freestyle. Points are awarded based on finish. 12 goes to the winner, and the driver with the most points at the end of the event is crowned overall event champion. Let's go to track talk. Adam, no surprises here for the drivers at this point. 4 rounds into this track and into this competition.
Yeah, I think that's the key word here is there's no surprise, and that's what they have to take advantage of. They know the freestyle track. They know the dirt. They know what's going on. You have to figure out how to take advantage of that, which lane is better, figuring out where to go, being smooth on the throttle, all those things playing a factor here tonight in San Diego.
We have a lot of time to study this track. We'll see who gets those nuances down in the first competition of the night, which is JCB Racing. Here's your round 1 matchups as we check out the bracket. Jurassic Attack, El Toro Loco Loco, Avenger, Mayhem, Axe, Megalodon, Lucas Stabilizer, Vendetta, Zombie, Thunder Roars, Gravedigger, Classroom Crusher advancing into round 2. Who do you like in this bracket?
You know, I love the Avenger Mayhem battle just because it's a father-son battle. It's something I dealt with my whole life with my dad riding dirt bikes too. You're trying to beat your dad from a small kid all the way to when you grow up, and here's the competition.
And here we go down to the track at Snapdragon Stadium. Dalton Weiner out in that blue lane on the far side, meeting Armando Castro, gray lane on the near side. It's El Toro Loco, it's Jurassic Attack, and we got a racing competition off and running here at Snapdragon.
Looks like Dalton Weiner goes a little high on that berm. See if he can make up the time.
Wide drift out goes El Toro Loco. He's now into that straightaway to the final corner. Jurassic Attack goes wide on the blue side. And now the push to the finish line. It's a big air for Dalton Weiner. And Jurassic Attack gets the win, 20.943. Here's the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
El Toro Loco coming in this last corner. Look at the way he hits the rear steer. It pushes the truck even farther out. That's where it all went wrong. You can't give that amount of room to a driver like Dalton Weiner.
There's that race you talked about, Avenger Mayhem. For more on this, let's go to Leslie.
Some rear steer issues right on the starting line for Chris Kohler. He kept backing up and going forward, trying to get it unstuck. It finally unwound for him. That's definitely not going to work to his benefit here in racing, though.
Now, on a track like this, you need all elements to be cooperating. A rear steer definitely a factor as we see Avenger now with the lead into that final corner. And Jim Kohler with the push and the air. Chris Kohler trying to just cross the finish line. At this point, he does get Mayhem over 21.920.
Well, the old man takes advantage. You can see Chris Kohler that whole run just kind of creeping around, trying to figure the truck out there. You see he hits the brakes a little early. Hopefully he gets everything fixed up.
Kevin Crocker in Megalodon in the gray lane. Joe Foley, Axe in the blue lane. Each one of these drivers looking for their first racing win of the season. Megalodon slow off the starting line, though. Something to watch as Joe Foley now has the lead.
Looks like Megalodon pushes a little wide in that first corner and way wide in the second corner. Joe Foley, big advantage.
Joe Foley now gets around that turning pod, but he's going to spin out a little bit. He goes up over the pod, and Joe Foley's going to go over. Megalodon not having much luck either, but he's got a chance to cross the finish line just by being on all four BKT tires. Kevin Crocker advancing. Take a look at the replay.
And this is one of the most difficult things about Monster Jam. You see him get a little sideways there, but as soon as he rounds this corner, it's difficult to see what's going on with Megalodon. He pushes it into that last turn, probably trying to get lane choice for the next round, makes a small turning mistake there, rolls on the hood, tries to get it back, but just can't.
Got to finish the race. Our final round one race features Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, Mike Christensen in Vendetta. One spot remains in round two. Who will it go to, Vendetta or Lucas Stabilizer?
Looks like Lucas Stabilizer has an advantage. Gets a little side swap there, though.
She took out half that pod on that back turn, trying to get around it. That opens the door for Vendetta here. Mike Christensen just has to finish strong. And Vendetta with the big air. And Mike Christensen gets the win, 22.398.
You can see Cynthia right here gets on the throttle. The rear hooks up, making her get a big bounce, kind of making those rear BKTs slide out, grabbing the pod there. And then you can see she leaves the rear steer on just a little long. Might have got stuck there. Grabs a big bounce. Luckily, she doesn't land on the hood.
A lot of drivers, Adam, already having issues on this track here. So the familiarity basically out the window. We're going to take a look at the bracket, moving into round two with JCB Racing. Zombie meets Jurassic Attack, Thunder Roars, Avenger, Gravedigger, Megalodon, Classroom Crusher versus Vendetta. Fastest round one time, Dalton Weiner, Jurassic Attack, 20.943. Round one is in the rear view mirror. Round two is on deck. JCB Racing continues when we come back to San Diego. Monster Jam is brought to you by JCB, the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam. Welcome back to San Diego, Snapdragon Stadium, the home for round four here in San Diego. We've reached the second round of JCB Racing. Bari, Musawwir, and Zombie will meet Dalton Weiner in Jurassic Attack. This is a great matchup as Dalton has his work cut out for him here against Bari. Around the corner they go into that pod turn. Bari Musawwir with the slight advantage heading on the far side.
Wow, nice job from both these drivers, driving very aggressively.
Final turn here for Bari. Zombie on rails right now, gets over the finish line, and Zombie moving on 20.660.
Yeah, that last corner here for Dalton Widener, you can tell how slick the dirt is here. Just no traction, goes out just a little bit wide, tries to get on the gas, but no drive.
Up next, Jim Kohler, Avenger, Colt Stevens, Thunderoris. Colt has a new focus on racing. For more on this, we go to Leslie.
Colt Stevens has doubled down on his racing this year, and he's really proud of his consistency. He's earned at least 8 points in racing at every event, and for the last 3 events, he's earned himself a first-round bye.
Yeah, definitely the best start he's had in his racing career in a very long time. Look at Jim Kohler just drifting out, goes too hard, and he goes way far into that corner. Colt Stevens takes advantage, and Thunderoris makes Avenger pay.
Jim Kohler trying to make everything work. He either holds the rear steer on all the way through that straightaway, or it gets a little bit stuck. Pushes a little wide there, and looks like that rear steer might be having an issue.
Not the night for rear steer when it comes to Team Scream. Kevin Crocker, Megalodon, advancing after his first win. Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger looking to move to 11-0 here. Gravedigger now up on the pod. Perfect position of the truck. Keeps the speed into the drift turn.
Yeah, very interesting line from Megalodon there. Tyler Menninga getting a solid test run on this track.
Great lane there for Gravedigger. Keeps it up the entire race from start to finish. It's over. Tyler Menninga advancing. Here's a super glue. Glue to the action replay.
Kevin Crocker coming in that first corner. You see how wide he comes into that turn. Just hits the rear steer, I think a little late. Drives over that pod. A little slower than you'd like.
Mike Christensen, Vendetta advancing from Route 1, and he will meet Camden Murphy in the Classroom Crusher. Coming off that overall event championship win, Vendetta goes down into the berm corner, goes Classroom Crusher, and Vendetta giving Camden Murphy everything he's got right now.
Wow, you can tell that gray lane is a lot slipperier than the blue lane right now. Mike Christensen gonna have to make it up in this last turn.
Perfect corner there for Camden Murphy on a dive, and he goes up and over. So Camden Murphy makes the save and into a wheelie combo, and that truck absolutely shattered. What happened to Camden Murphy?
Let's check it out in this last turn. He's sliding that thing, whipping it around, loses a little bit of traction. He tries to still go for it on the face of that jump while he's not straight, gets a big bounce from those rear BKTs and goes head over heels.
Oh, look at the back end of that truck. Absolutely brutal there for Camden Murphy in Classroom Crusher. We're going to take a look at the bracket here. JCB Racing, Zombie, Thunderoris, Gravedigger versus Classroom Crusher. Zombie fastest time, 20.550. Coming up, 4 drivers remain in the bracket. Who ends up with a JCB Racing win? Find out next on Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by the Utah Sports Commission. Utah, the state of sports. Of course, Salt Lake City, Utah, the home of Monster Jam World Finals 24. But tonight, San Diego is the home for Monster Jam Racing action. We've reached the JCB Racing semifinals. It's Zombie versus Thunderoris. Lane choice always a factor. And with more on Bari's decision, we go to Leslie.
Bari's crew chief told me that the blue lane is the ticket out here, and even though we've seen wild finishes, Bari told me earlier that you've just got to run your race and not worry about who's in that other lane.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Bari right now running his race absolutely perfectly. He's got Colt Stevens where he wants him. And Zombie's going to go over in the far corner. Bari had the race won, and Colt Stevens going to get the win here. Bari Musawwir, disaster on that final turn.
Let's check out the replay here. He comes into the corner. Everything looks good, and that BKT just hooks up in this San Diego dirt. There might be a tacky spot where the sun and shade is at. Something Bari just could not see. So unfortunate. What a good race he had going.
There's Vendetta into the lane. Classroom Crusher unable to continue after that carnage we saw last round. So Mike Christensen lines up against Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. Gravedigger, such a great start off the line once again. And Tyler had that same lane up on the berm.
Good first turn for Mike Christensen, but he pushes a little wide on the entry. You can't give Tyler Menninga that advantage.
Blue corner, Tyler Menninga navigating it right now. Mike Christensen doing well, drifts out a little wide, and Tyler Menninga takes advantage. Gravedigger moving on 20.282. Check out the replay.
Wow, that was a great race from Mike Christensen. You see him coming to this first corner. Watch how it's gonna pitch the truck just a little outside. That rear steer gets held on just a little bit long. And unfortunate for Mike Christensen.
We've reached the finals. Colt Stevens, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger, Thunderoris. Tyler gets lane choice with a time lapse out of 20.282. That is also the fastest time of the night. So the undefeated streak on the line against Colt Stevens, trying to knock off Tyler Menninga. Tyler has won both of their head-to-head meetings so far this season. And Tyler Menninga, blue lane dominance all day long on this track. Here we go, Colt Stevens versus Tyler Menninga for the racing finals.
Colt Stevens off to a little bit of a better start. He checks up there, tries to not get a bounce from the truck. He's learned that gray lane.
If Tyler can navigate this turn once again, if he does, the race is his. Colt goes wide again, trying to catch up in that race lane. And he's got to play catch up all race long. Tyler Menninga getting it done. 20.436 gets the win.
Oh man, this just all came down to lane choice. You can see, look at the rubber laid down coming in that last gray corner. He just doesn't have any traction, has to slow down too much and can't come away with the win.
Tyler improved to 25-1 on this track. Let's hear from our winner.
So Tyler, the blue lane was treacherous. For everyone else but you, is that whole like smooth, slow is fast thing that you had going on yesterday?
Yeah, you know, I think the blue lane, Camden just kind of washed out and didn't make the gap. There was nothing wrong with that besides like he just kind of washed out through the corner. Bari must have found a dry spot where it was kind of slick, and I was cautious about that. I knew that could be a possibility. So instead of driving that corner like I had been the first pass, after I seen that, I kind of laid up a little bit because I knew the gray lane was much worse. So it's worth slowing down a little bit and sacrificing a couple seconds here and there rather than dumping the truck, rolling it over, and not winning the race. So slow is fast, smooth is fast, and it worked out for us here today. Gravedigger 44, still undefeated.
Gravedigger 44 getting it done. Dominant so far. Here's the first BKT point standings of the day. Gravedigger with 12, Thunderoris in second, Vendetta third, Zombie fourth, Classroom Crusher in fifth. Next up in San Diego is a Monster Jam Skills Challenge. Drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels, or they could do a donut. Each driver was scored by fans on creativity, skill, and execution. 12 points up for grabs, and we're going to take a look at our top 5. Coming in 5th, Armando Castro backs Del Toro Loco up to the trench box, getting it done.
It's a nice nose wheel. He pops that rear end of that truck up, just bouncing on these BKTs. You can see how close he's getting to those containers. See if he gets a little combination move, throwing in a little rear steer here. Great job balancing that thing, going from a nose wheel to moonwalk. There's that rear steer.
Musawwir with another highlight reel in San Diego. Zombie flying up high.
Nice sky wheelie to a slap wheelie. Oh, got some broken parts.
Avenger coming back from racing, going for a bicycle.
Turns in, gets a nice little cyclone out of that.
Joe Foley getting on the board. Look at Joe Foley, another bicycle here for Axe.
Yeah, this is a great venue to be able to do those bicycles and get that kind of combination move thrown into the moonwalk.
Stopping into the moonwalk. Love seeing that. Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger getting another win back-to-back, getting it done, showing he is one of the best in the world at this right here.
Yeah, Tyler Menninga is so good at 2-wheel skills. Here's your first combination. We got the popper into the nose wheelie, then back, reverses into the wheelie, and then we're gonna see another combination here, back into the nose wheelie. That's 2, we're going on 3 combinations. Here he is into the nose wheelie again. We're gonna see another moonwalk, Scott. How long is this gonna, what's going on right now?
I mean, just precision here from Tyler Menninga to go into a stoppie and then control the moonwalk, flipping it right back
okay,
up.
Another combination.
And finessing the
That's
back.
4.
Unbelievable
How long
run.
is this gonna go on, Scott?
As long as Tyler Menninga wants it to. Tyler Menninga, what a run here in the Skills Challenge. He gets another 12 points with the win. Perfect for the night so far. 24. Zombie in second, Thunderoris in third, Avenger in fourth. And Jurassic Attack moves up into that 5th spot, 10 points off the lead. Tyler picks up the second Skills win of the season. Let's join our winner and Leslie.
He's definitely the king of the combo. So when you're in that combo rotation, when do you decide it's time to put it down?
Honestly, I'm going to keep trying until I realize that I'm a hair off, right? Like that last one, I thought about tripping it one more time, but it's not really worth it because then if it looks not that good, it's just kind of like not a good combo after that, in my opinion. Maybe I'm being hard on myself, right? But man, what a blast it is to see how long you can get it to rock back and forth on the front wheels back to the rear wheels. And really, it's pushing the limits of myself and my machine behind me, and just shows that Matt's got this Gravedigger 44 perfect for me right now.
So we have to talk about this. You're perfect so far in the event, but you have not been perfect in freestyle. You haven't been able to make a clean run without braking. Do you think that tonight is the night?
Yeah, you know, this track is super hard. Like, it's hard to drive. There's no doubt about it. And last night, Camden had an awesome run, but in my opinion, there was a lot of rolling of the dice, and it just worked out for him. I'm not much of a roller dice driver. I don't mind doing it here and there, but not every jump. And this track tends to be every jump. So I'm going to go out, do my best, go as big as I can, make those big wow moments to the fans, make a backflip, because I didn't last night, and we'll see if we can walk out of here with an overall event championship.
Tyler Menninga's looking for his first perfect event of the season, but we still have one competition left. Freestyle is next on Monster Jam Primetime. Monster Jam is proud to partner with and support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit monsterjam.com/St. Jude to learn how you can join us in the fight against childhood cancer. Halftime here at Snapdragon Stadium as the drivers of Stadium Championship Series East all making sure their trucks are properly adjusted for freestyle. And Adam, they're going to need it because we've seen a lot of carnage so far today. None of that, however, factors in for Tyler Menninga. He continues to annihilate the competition, winning both racing and skills. He spoke about the track being a huge factor here, but so far, zero issues for Tyler or Gravedigger.
You know, that has been the case so far for Tyler Menninga, but one thing we know about Monster Jam that is inevitable is you will have issues at some point, and it's how you handle it. Tyler has been handling it better than anybody else, but we still have one event to go.
We do. We'll see if everybody can compete with the latest developments. Let's check in with his Northern Tool and Equipment pit report.
So racing was just wild. So Bari, take us through what happened, because we saw that the blue lane was just giving everybody fit.
Yeah, I was going good on my first pass against Jurassic Attack. We got #1 qualifier for next week, and so I felt confident going into that race. Last corner just hooked the rut or something happened, and it caught traction, which it hasn't done all weekend long. So here we are on the bicycle, and I tried to save it. I was putting power down, and the tire caught, broke the inner axle in the front, and we've got a bent tie rod in the back.
So how long is it going to take your team here to get it together?
I think 20 minutes will be good.
20 minutes of pay dirt for Bari Musawwir, still very much in the event championship race as we check out our BKT overall point standings. Tyler with 24, doubling down on the win. Zombie 6 points off, Thunder Roar 7 back, Avenger 9 back, and Jurassic Attack 10 points off the lead to round out our current top 5. We're moments away from freestyle. Here's tonight's order. Classroom Crusher and Zombie down in the last 2 spots to allow the teams more time to get the trucks ready for freestyle. How important is that on a night like tonight?
I mean, it is just such a big breath of fresh air for these drivers, both Bari Musawwir and Classroom Crusher. You have to be excited about being at the bottom of that list just to get that little bit of extra time to not only fix your truck, but see the track as well.
Also monitoring Vendetta, blown motor from Mike Christensen. We'll see if he can make it back. Right now, we're going to get back to Snapdragon Stadium to kick things off from Leicester, Massachusetts. Joe Foley in Axe. And Joe wasting no time coming out of the stall. As you take a look at the criteria, 30 seconds to get a score. Got to reach that 1 minute mark, or a point is deducted. Creativity, technical moves, combinations. Fans once again scoring here in San Diego. Joe Foley, freestyle Foley 1 year ago, Adam, set the sport on fire. He has gotten off to a slow start, but we saw flashes of what the old Joe in skill. Can he put that momentum into effect here in freestyle?
Yeah, you know, he definitely can, but it goes back to the same thing kind of in basketball is you get that momentum going from last year, and it's, you know, like you take a big timeout and then it breaks that momentum up, and sometimes it's hard to get the momentum back started, and that's what we've seen so far with Joe. Nice big air there to continue this run. But sometimes you just need a little bit of glimpse, you know, a wide open 3 or something like that, and that could be what he gets here tonight.
Nice jump there, completely avoids the obstacle, goes all the way across the track. He did have a freestyle win here on this track 1 year ago. And now Joe Foley coming up big air after big air. Gets the nose down to keep the speed on the landing, so crucial, avoiding the backflip ramp right up over the cart stack.
Yeah, Joe Foley, something I like in particular that Joe is doing, he's just driving very aggressive, and the crowd always seems to respond well to that. If Joe Foley can continue this and not have any breakages, this is without a doubt going to be a big score and a hard one to beat for the rest of the competition.
Adam, he's hitting every jump absolutely perfectly, knowing his awareness, his track awareness. Morgan backflip for Joe Foley, and Axe goes over, gets a little wobbly on the landing, and Joe Foley is not done, but here's that track awareness right up over the step up.
Sky wheelie!
Great check, sky wheelie, wheels under
With the
wheelie,
slap
combo.
wheelie. Oh
And the flag is off of Axe. What a run. This is freestyle Foley, vintage right here.
Yeah, it is. Love to see it. End the run with a donut. The crowd is on their feet. This is what we come to see at Monster Jam.
Joe Foley kicking it off with a bang. Take a look at the original super glue. Glue to the action replay.
Wow, so many highlights. Here's the Morgan backflip, gets a great rotation, lands on the left BKT. Wow, that truck held together nicely. And then here's that huge sky wheelie off the freestyle ramp, lands on the bumper there. Perfect execution with a combination.
Next up, Colt Stevens in Thunderoris. He is out second. Colt, of course, a former World Finals freestyle champion. Not every driver is a fan of going out early in the order. Some like it, some don't. And we're going to see how Colt's feelings are as we check back in with our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
Colt's a competitor that doesn't really like going early in the freestyle order, but he has his own little statistic that plays into his favor tonight. He told me that he feels like when you're early in the freestyle order, your chances of winning freestyle actually go up by 50% because you get to wow the crowd first and be the first one to hit some of those clean, fresh ramp faces. So those odds, his odds, are in his favor tonight.
I love that, Scott. He came up with his own stats.
Yes, I like the math there. 50% chance increase by going early. But he's not wrong because those ramp faces do get shredded with the tires. The 12,000-pound truck's going over them, and if you're last in the order, they're going to be a little smaller, and the air may not be there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree, especially looking at it from a driver's standpoint. You want to get that wow factor, and you want to get the clean track. But then again, you have a driver like Joe Foley that just went before you and burned the house down. Now you have to figure out how to top that. In this case, maybe going a little later, letting the crowd calm down a bit might be better. But Colt and Thunderoris putting on a great freestyle right now.
Maybe vengeance on his mind, a little redemption as well. Colt finished dead last in round 3 here, was shut off with 90 seconds to go, and he is going to end the run here with maybe a big save. My goodness, round and round goes Thunderoris. And that's so far the save of the night for Colt Stevens. I don't know how he got that thing on all 4 tires, but he did. Check out the replay.
I mean, we got to give Colt a cowabunga right here. Grabs that front BKT, gets a little pirouette, a flip, then back on the top, then back on all 4s. Thunderoris putting on a show.
What a run there for Colt Stevens and Thunderoris. Way to kick off the competition. Freestyle Foley is back, but did he do enough to get his first win? Find out when Freestyle continues next on Primetime. Welcome back to round 4 of Monster Jam Primetime. Today's festivities kicked off with the most family-oriented pit party in motorsports as fans arrived early to Snapdragon to meet their favorite drivers and take pictures with the trucks. If you want to attend the pit party at your next Monster Jam event, we'd love to see you. Go get your tickets at monsterjam.com. Moments ago, freestyle continued with Kevin Crocker in Megalodon, but no bite in the Shark. You get a 4.759.
Yeah, Kevin having some issues. Sparks are flying.
Out of Columbus, Michigan, 2-time World Finals freestyle champion Jim Kohler in Avenger. Jim going with that classic dark green paint scheme here on the Avenger body. Trying to take the lead away from his Team Scream teammate Joe Foley. We see Avenger going sideways, and we saw that in racing where the rear steer appeared to be locked up.
Yeah, he's definitely having some rear steer issues, I would say. But for Jim, it's one of those things where it's not always stuck, Scott. Sometimes you're able to manually kind of put it back, and hopefully he will be able to manually kind of toggle that thing straight, but it's definitely going to make it quite a bit more difficult.
Jim Kohler in his 25th year in Monster Jam Big Time Air for the 7-time Extreme Air Award winner. Went all the way in 2003 and 2011. How crazy would it be in his 25th year to win his 3rd World Finals Freestyle Championship?
There we
He could
go.
do it with moves like that all the way across, threading the needle at Snapdragon Stadium.
You could just tell instantly he wanted a big jump there, big air. He held the throttle on all the way around the corner before the apex of that turn. Great job from Jim.
There's a score to be 9.143. We saw that when Joe Foley kicked off freestyle, and another vertical sky wheelie for Jim Kohler right up on that berm, and he did not have enough on the landing. Avenger is sideways, and that'll do it for Jim Kohler.
Definitely an unfortunate end to his run because he had such a great run going. You can see he just gets a little sideways on that ramp. Seems to fall over on the hood and can't make it happen.
Next up, Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, the former World Finals high jump champion. She has been adjusting to coming back to Monster Jam, working with the new crew chief as well. So a lot of adjustments here for Cynthia Gauthier in this 2025 season. And with more on Cynthia and tonight's event in San Diego, we go back to our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
Cynthia finally feels like she's a little bit more comfortable in the truck and with her new crew chief, Wyatt Haven. She said he's really great on the radio, gives her a lot of pep talks. The other reason she's more comfortable, she's spent a lot of time looking at video over the last 2 weeks and the 3 events that they've had here in San Diego. She thinks she's really figured out the track, and she's just gonna let loose, be comfortable, go back to her old ways, not worry about breaking the truck and just let it go.
Thank you, Leslie and Adam. You know, I've talked about that. I think that's what Cynthia's been doing. She's been overthinking a lot of things as she readjusts to life on the track on a stadium series.
Well, you know, that can happen, especially when you're trying to come back and be as good as you once were, and you take that time off and the edge of that sword just isn't as sharp, and unfortunately you just need time in the truck, and I don't think Cynthia needs to worry about too much. Like she said, don't worry about breaking the truck, don't worry about anything, just get the time in the truck. She will be back to tip-top shape in no time, but unfortunately, no matter what you do as an athlete, when you take a break from your profession and you try to come back, it's definitely difficult.
Morgan backflip attempt here for Cynthia Gauthier. Lucas Stabilizer all the way around, hard side slap, and that momentum going to shift her over onto the container. So hits the backflip ramp, doesn't stick the landing, and here's a replay.
So watch the backflip. She's just going to get a little bit of side rotation there. You see her land on the right side of that truck. She gets a big bounce. She does the right thing by not getting back on the throttle, but sometimes it just happens.
Next out, riding for Team Screen, former Monster Jam Rookie of the Year, Chris Kohler in Mayhem. Chris wasting no time to get to the Mayhem right out of the stall. Hits the first jump he sees. He's got all the momentum as he heads to the near side of the track. Chris on the season so far, an average of 9.007 with 1 win. We have seen incredible flashes of brilliance through Chris Kohler's young career. He is a driver that when he is on his A game and firing on all cylinders at him, can literally beat every single driver in the sport, and he could win a world championship.
Yeah, that's no question, and no question in my mind either. With Chris Kohler, he's just one of those drivers that has such a high potential every single time he touches the track, but there's just weird things that go on sometimes, and I think that has to do with, you know, having an independent program and having to work on your truck constantly and fix it, and there's just little things that go on that they have to deal with all the time.
Well, he is dealing with the Morgan backflip ramp right now, and Chris Kohler gets a nice bounce on all 4 BKT tires, going to try to keep this thing going, and he is done. So the backflip costs him some time, but he hits it nonetheless.
Great rotation and unbelievable height. Lands really hard on those BKTs. Has a little bit of a breakage there, and unfortunate ending for him.
We are flying through freestyle. The more California Carnage is on deck when we return after this. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Crush it, crash it, jam it. Welcome back to Snapdragon Stadium. Moments ago, freestyle continued with Armando Castro. He went for it right here in El Toro Loco. Slap wheelie combination move gets a lower score than expected. That brings us to Dalton Wider and Jurassic Attack. We talked about Dalton's racing prowess. He did win multiple freestyles on the arena circuit last year, really starting to find his way at him on these stadium freestyle tracks.
Yeah, he definitely is, and that's just getting comfortable. You know, you get on this big stage, and then you also have to wrap your head around, man, I'm going against Tyler Menninga and Bari Musawwir and guys of that stature, and it's just so difficult to be like, how am I going to get this whole series done, stay in this championship, and do the best I can? And then on top of that, the floor's twice as big. There's twice as many fans because the stadium's bigger. I mean, everything is just so much more pressure. Dalton Widener handling it very well.
Yeah, he has put together a spectacular starter. We talked about that at the top of the show. Comes right up over the back end. The 8-pack, nice wheelie combination move. Slap wheelie city here in San Diego. Vintage from Bari Musawwir. Now Dalton Widener trying to pick and choose his moments here.
Yeah, great execution of that. It looks like he got that thing 90 degrees straight in the air. That's what you want to do. Dalton Widener off to a little bit of a slow start, but carrying solid momentum.
Jurassic Attack now getting some momentum here. Goes right up over the berm. Now comes finding his way to shoot the gap here on this long, hard, tacky track at Snapdragon Stadium. Nice brake check there for Dalton Widener. 9.143 is the score to beat. We saw Joe Foley still with that lead. And Dalton Widener now means business. He's in the race lane, which means it's time for the Morgan & Morgan backflip. He hit one last round, going for it again. Jurassic Attack with the backflip attempt. Oh. And there goes the wheel. So that'll do it for the run, but he backflipped nonetheless for Dalton Widener.
Nice slap wheelie. That's what we were talking about earlier. Great execution, dragging that bumper wheelie bar area. That's exactly what you want to do. And then he comes into this backflip ramp here, gets good rotation, a little hard on the throttle, hits the brakes, and unfortunately that right hub just gives out on that side.
Our next competitor is the reigning World Finals freestyle champion, current event leader Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. He's talked about his struggles in freestyle so far in the 2025 season. But for now, we're going to get an update. Head back to our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
As we heard from Tyler Menninga earlier, he's really got to keep this truck together and fill his time if he wants to win freestyle here out on this track. But he told me earlier, too, that this track is very, very dangerous out here because it's slick in some places, it's tacky in others, it's got some grip, it's slick, and so you really don't know about the consistency in the dirt. So as you're rounding those corners, as we've seen, some of these trucks are just getting upended, so he's going to have to be on his A game for that and not taking big risks early to break the truck.
We've seen Tyler on his A game all day, and he's right there with a nice save into a combo move.
Yeah, there's something going on with the rear steer of that truck. It's been stuck from almost the beginning of this run while Leslie was talking. He can't, for some reason, he can't get that thing unstuck. He's gonna crab walk this thing over, try to get a little combination.
The freestyle bad luck continues for Tyler Menninga this season. Take a look at the replay.
Yeah, you can see how that rear steer is just stuck to that right. He's gonna do a little bit of crab walk bicycle here, try to maybe get a combination and roll the truck over.
Let's take a look at the current freestyle leaderboard. Axe is still out in front. Vendetta will not compete. That run by Tyler Menninga keeps Bari Musawwir in the event championship chase. Next up, the event championship is on the line. Tyler Menninga's left the door wide open. Can Bari Musawwir drive right through it? Zombie is next on Primetime. We are back with more freestyle here at Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego. Our next competitor, Camden Murphy, classroom crusher, the last round overall event champion. But a rough go so far tonight. Left racing early, missed skills. So a big run here, Adam, could get back some of those points and salvage Camden Murphy's night.
Yeah, and not only that, but carry momentum into the next round. You know, when you get one big win like Camden Murphy has gotten and you can't back it up at all, it's very frustrating as a driver because you know what you can do. Tonight is very, very important, and this specific event of freestyle is even more important for Camden Murphy right now. He needs to get some big points on the board.
Classroom crusher looks a little bit different without the bust.
Definitely a little bit different, but we can tell by those yellow bead locks that it is classroom crusher. See what Camden Murphy can do.
Axton was scored to be 9.143. We get a great look at the chassis of Classroom Crusher. Camden Murphy right inside the cab with hands on the steering wheel. With this slick, tacky dirt, the BKT tires, of course, a huge factor here, getting the traction. They've been able to get it done, and Camden Murphy avoids the backflip ramp.
Well, it looks like that left front wheel isn't pulling at all. More mechanicals for Camden Murphy.
Bicycle after bicycle. Not sure if that was intended or not. Still look cool. Take a look at the replay.
Yeah, you can tell how the truck pulls off and fishtails to the left there. You can tell that front left tire is not pulling. More mechanicals for Camden Murphy. Man, that's frustrating.
Our final competitor, the former Monster Jam Rookie of the Year and Entertainer of the Year, Bari Musawwir in Zombie. He broke the front housing earlier. His crew had to work hard to get the housing replaced so he could compete here in freestyle and have a shot at the event championship. For an update on this, let's go back to Leslie Mears.
Guys, sometimes with great risk does not come great reward. When Bari Musawwir went out in the skills competition, we saw him get huge air. When he came down on the front, he actually put a crack in the housing on the front of that truck. And so that is a hub-to-hub replacement. Detach all the shocks, all the four-link bars, take off both tires. It is a huge undertaking, and his crew was able to make that happen and get him back out here for freestyle. No small feat for the team, but glad to get Zombie back in competition.
Bari with a shot at the event championship. Here he needs to take the lead, and which would win freestyle and ultimately would win the event championship. So the stakes are high for Bari Musawwir.
The stakes are high for Bari Musawwir, but the stakes are high, also for the team and everybody involved over there. They put in so much work. To replace that housing is a tremendous amount of work, like Leslie talked about. And when you put in that much work, you want to see a little bit of reward. Right now, there is a lot of pressure on Bari's shoulders.
As a freestyle winner on this track, also won both freestyles at Petco in 2022.
Oh, there we go!
And Bari now setting his sights on the event championship. Goes up high, does a little whip action in Zombie.
Nice big air there. Thought he might have been able to get a slap wheelie, but a little bit short on that landing.
Going for the Morgan backflip. Zombie goes up with the event championship on the line. Try to get a moonwalk there. The tires were in mid-air. Comes right back over the container. And now up over that berm into it. There's a slap wheelie combo. Is it enough to beat a 9.143 and send Bari home to Orlando with the hardware? Here comes Zombie coming in hot.
Now we're talking.
Big time there for Bari Musawwir.
That'll get it done. Let's see a save.
Tried to get a pirouette save. Nothing there. Still ends the run on a solid note as we take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay.
Wow, what a great run from Bari Musawwir. Great rotation. He might have missed reverse here. You can see those tires are in forward still after the rotation. Oh man, what a big air. He is flying high. This is gonna be a hard freestyle to judge. I can't wait to see who gets the win.
Bari Musawwir tried to make that save. Would have been spectacular if he could have stuck it. A spectacular run nonetheless. And Bari Musawwir with a 9.687 gets the freestyle win. And we'll check out our freestyle top 5. Zombie with that run takes the win. Axe in second, Jurassic Attack in third, Thunder Roars in fourth, Lucas Stabilizer in fifth in a great freestyle competition. Now we take a look at our final BKT overall points standings. Bari gets 12 points, just edging out Tyler Menega for the win. Zombie in first, Gravedigger second, Thunder Roars third, Jurassic Attack in fourth, and Axe in fifth. Bari picks up his second freestyle win of the season, first overall. Let's join our champion and Leslie.
Usually your overall event champion spends a lot more time on the track than they do in the pits, but tonight, that wasn't for you. Your wow factors were through the roof, but with great risk came great damage tonight for you. We talked about that earlier, but was it worth it tonight?
With great risk comes great reward, and we're holding the trophy here at the end of the night. It was a team effort all night. We had a rollover in racing. We broke a housing in two-wheel skills. They thrashed to get a new housing in the back. Up until the last truck went before me, I said, you know what, I got to lay one down for all those guys back here and the San Diego fans. Dreams come true. I'm still living a dream 15 years in. I'm having the time of my life. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, Leslie. A lot of great highlights in freestyle. One of the best competitions I've seen over the last couple of years. Bari Musawwir once again getting it done en route to another event championship in San Diego. And how about the return of freestyle Foley here in round 4?
Yeah, Scott, wow, it's good to see Joe Foley driving the way he was driving. He's definitely back. But Bari Musawwir getting some crucial event championship points, and he's the king of freestyle in this series.
This series heads to Anaheim, and we head to the Midwest to meet up with Stadium Championship Series West for 2 rounds at the Dome in St. Louis. For Adam Edzignapp and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam Primetime.